Hello everyone, welcome to this live automation testing question and answer session on my channel Wish Infinite. So today we are going to make this session completely interactive. So here you can ask any questions related to the testing, automation testing, Selenium, Playwright, Cypress, right? And I will try to answer them one by one. So yeah, you can start shooting your questions and we will pick the questions one by one. And you can also send your location from where you are joining this particular call. If you are in India, so from which city you are joining, and globally if you are joining from any other country, you can send your location also into the chat. Okay, so we have started getting the questions, so I'll start taking them one by one. Okay, so we have people joining from the Bangalore, India, Hyderabad, India. Okay, and we have got our first question also. So it is from Abhinav Sinha. So can we expect a test automation coding agent video soon? So Abhinav, what kind of agent you are talking about? Are you talking about the MCP servers, or is it something else? You are talking about the specific tool. Can you please help me getting that? Because I have already started creating the questions related to the MCP server. Okay, where we are kind of using the Playwright MCP server with the different AI assistant, like you can say VS Code with the GitHub Copilot, and then we have used the Claude. Apart from that, we have also used, I think, one tool which is Cursor. So, are you talking about that, or is it something else? You can let me know here in the chat box. Until then, I would be taking the next questions. So we have one question which is from Vikrant Sharma. Hello Vikrant. I think previously we have connected, right? Over the mail, you have sent me one mail, right, Vikrant? So we have a question from Vikrant that my PO keeps asking to find bugs through the automation test are not found through the manual test. Is that even possible? So yes, Vikrant, that is possible. So usually, see, when we are doing the automation testing, we should be able to find most of the bugs right there. And after that, during the automation testing, we create the automation script, which is going to be there part of the continuous integration, right? Which will get executed either onto the daily basis or it will get executed whenever there is a new push happening. So in that case, see, let's say you have find all the bugs through the manual testing, and you have put your automation code there onto the pipeline through the continuous integration, right? So in that case, when let's say some developer is making some change there into the code, and because of that, it is happening that something got broken, right? Any functionality or UI got broken, or somehow your elements are missing, or it can be there that they have some changed some property which is expected, but because of that your automation script will started showing the error, right? In that case you would be able to find the errors through the automation testing, and then you can report those issues to your team, right? You can write the bugs for that, and then you should be able to, I mean, there you can tell, right? By this way you would be able to find the issues through the automation testing, right? Usually what happens, either you would be doing the execution, automation execution onto the daily basis, right? So that will happen that sometimes your API is not working, or sometimes something got broken, right? Which because of that you are not able to see anything there onto the application. So that type of thing you would be able to catch through the automation testing. Apart from that, as I told, right, whenever there is any change which is happening, which developers are making, which will, you can kind of configure your CI like that, that whenever there is any push happening, right, for your development code, in that case your automation execution should happen every time. And if there is any issue which is happening, you would be able to catch, right, through your automation testing. You would be having visual regression testing also, where you would be using snapshots, right? So let's say someone has moved one button from left to right, so that you would be able to catch through the automation itself, because you would not be able to every time do the manual regression, right? So in that case those type of issue will get catched through the automation only. Okay, I will take the next question. So we have one question from Shiva. Okay, so I have one doubt. May I know why there is no calls for the playwright interview in the recent days, and when we can expect more calls? Okay, so this is good question. So see, mean, long ago when I started working, so at that time I started working on the UFT. Okay, HP UFT, it was QTP, and after that I switched my career to the Selenium. Okay, and at that time when I used to work on the UFT, so we used to get call related to the UFT itself, right? And as soon as Selenium came into market, most of the interviews were happening onto the Selenium itself, right? And the same thing is now happening with the Playwright. So currently I would say the projects which are already using Selenium, you would be able to see the interviews related to the that only, right? Related to the Selenium, because there are very large number of projects which are still using Selenium. But now when the new projects are getting started, so they are kind of using Playwright, Cypress. So in that scenario, if any new project, if in any new project where you are kind of going to use these Playwright, Cypress, so there you would be getting call. Usually in my company also, recently we have taken call. So there were call related to the Playwright, Cypress. So yeah, you should be getting call in future, but it can be, the market situation currently. So there can be the case that you would be getting the less call, but you should be able to get call. You can try updating the Naukri profile, right? Onto the Indeed, if you will search related to, the vacancies related to the Playwright, you would be able to see so many vacancies there. I hope, I answered your question. You can leave your comment if you still feel you need more information, Shiva. So we have one similar question from Vikrant again, that I have switched from Selenium to Playwright. How is the job market going to be for Playwright? So see, I personally like Playwright more as compared to the Selenium. Long ago I have, for long I have worked on to the Selenium, right? and after that I started using the Selenium Cypress. So I personally like I personally like Playwright more as compared to the Selenium and Cypress, right? And as you are talking about the job market, so I mean, into the projects, the new projects, as I told, which are coming, are using the Playwright and Cypress more as compared to the Selenium. If you will talk about the old projects, they are still onto the Selenium, but right, the migration is little difficult for the old projects from Selenium to the Playwright or Cypress, because there are large number of scripts which they have already developed. So in that case, you would not be that would not be happening quickly. But although I mean, if the new projects are coming, they are preferring the Playwright and the Cypress. So in future or from now onwards, I think you should be able to get the call related to the Playwright interviews and the Cypress interview. Okay, so we have one more question. It is from Jaya Ram. Okay, I am a manual tester who recently upskilled in the Playwright using your playlist. I am now ready to step into the automation. Could you please share your some tips to help me enter the automation world? Okay, so as you are a manual tester, so Jairam, you are already aware about the manual testing concepts, right? You must be aware about how we need to do the manual testing, what are different types of manual testing, right? What are all the tools which you would be using for the manual testing? And I am considering that you are already aware about that, right? You must be aware about ticket management, right? Are you using Jira or the Azure DevOps or HPALM is, I think it is out of market, but yeah, any one of the tool you should be aware about. Apart from that, you you should be able to write the scenarios. Still, I am talking about the manual testing, and you should be having the knowledge about how you need to write the automation tests, how you need to write the manual test, right? How you need to create the bug, what should be the priority. Apart from the manual testing, now when we come on to the automation testing, so there, as you have already went through my Playwright playlist, so you must be aware about this TypeScript or JavaScript, any one of the language you need to use, right? So apart from that, there are other languages also, right? You can use .NET or Java for the Playwright itself, but I would say go with the TypeScript or JavaScript, right? It is very similar, right? TypeScript is superset of JavaScript, so you can use any of the language. Preferably, I have created my playlist onto the TypeScript when we are using the Playwright, but it would be very similar if you will use JavaScript also. Some statement like import statement would be different into the JavaScript. There is no type which you can provide in case of JavaScript. So you should be aware about these things. I mean, you should be having basic knowledge about the TypeScript or the JavaScript, right? Which we would be using for creating our automation script. Apart from that, as you have gone through my whole Playwright playlist, so I have created multiple videos, right? It is starting from the basic, that how you need to do the setup, how you need to perform the different actions. Apart from that, how you need to create the framework. Also, I have one playlist where I have just created the videos related to the framework, where we have used the different concepts which we have learned, and then we have used them into the framework, right? And after that, you should be aware about GitHub, that how you need to kind of upload your code onto the GitHub, and from there only you would be using this continuous integration, right? You can use any tool, right? Jenkins, Azure DevOps, or GitLab, right? GitHub Actions. So anyway, you would be able to create your pipeline where your tests will get executed. So all these concepts, you should be having a good knowledge, right? In the interview, they can ask anything. It can be related to the manual testing. It can be related to the automation testing, where they can ask from the basic to very advanced. As I told, right? You should be aware about the continuous integration, how you need to create the framework, what should be the structure of your framework, right? How you want to manage your data into your framework. After that, you should be aware about the API testing also, how you need to do it, right? It can be manual testing. I mean, in case of API, you would be performing manual testing onto the API through the Postman, right? Either you should be able to use the Playwright, where you would be able to write the scripts related to the API testing. So I mean, at least all these things which I have pointed, you should be aware about, and there would be, I mean, you would be definitely getting the questions related to all these topics. So you should prepare about all these things, and then you can start giving your interview. And the process also, you should be aware about that, what kind of process which you are following into your project, right? If you are following, let's say if you are using this, if you are into the agile project, so you should be aware that what are all the ceremonies which they are happening, right, which are happening there into your project, how you are kind of starting with your testing process. First, what you do, you write your test scenarios, test cases, right? You do the manual testing, and then you jump onto the automation testing. So all these things you should be aware about, and then you are good to go. Okay, I would be taking the next question. So again, we have one question from Vikrant. So is there any video coming for data validation on the UI versus DB using Playwright? So that is in my mind, Vikrant, currently, but no, I've not started working on it right now. But yeah, I will definitely note this particular request, and I will try to definitely create a video on the same. Again, we have one more questions, which is from Bharat, and it is the same question. Can we expect videos related to the database testing from your channel anytime soon? So yes, Bharat, as I told, I mean, I have noted this particular question. I will definitely work on it, and I will try to create one video on the same. Okay, so Shiva has said that thanks for the explanation. I have been updating the profile daily. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, so Shiva, best of luck, all the best, right? You can keep preparing, you will definitely get selected. So you can tell your friends also to refer, okay, and you can keep updating your Naukri profile, and there you should be able to receive the call, and you will definitely get selected. So we have one question from Abhinav. So something related to the RAG model that performs action based on my test framework repository. So about this, Abhinav, I mean, I am definitely, I mean, I am currently not sure that how it works, but I can look into this particular thing about the RAG model, and can see if I can create something on that. Okay. So we have one more question from Vikrant. So can you give your intro about yourself, like about your career path, which company are you in, location? Okay. So I have currently 12 plus years of experience, right? And as I told from the starting, I have working as the automation tester. So initially, I have worked on to the HPUFT, as I told, and after that, for the 3 years, I have worked on to the HPUFT itself, and then I changed my career onto the Selenium, where I used Selenium with Java, and for I think for 6 years I have worked on to the 6 7 years I have worked on to the Selenium using Java. Okay, and then I have started using the Playwright and Cypress. So currently I'm using Cypress into my project, and Playwright also been onto the Playwright also I have worked on parallelly. So yeah, these are the tools on which I have worked on. And when I'm seeing the saying the automation testing, so it is kind of hybrid testing, right? Both manual testing as well as the automation testing I have worked on. Apart from that, I have also worked on to the Angular in between for the Angular development. So yeah, these are all the technologies I have worked on. I have I have also studied about the React. If you will see my site, which is wishinfinite.com, so there that I have created using the React itself, and there I have also used these AI agents, right? GitHub Copilot to create that particular site. So uh, these are all the technologies on which I have worked on. And currently about the location, so I'm from India, Pune. Okay, so I will take the next question. So it is from, so this question is from SAK104. So thanks a lot for your playlist. I was able to switch into Playwright just because of that. What more we can expect in future on Wish Infinite channel? So yeah, so congratulations for that, as you are able to switch your career onto the Playwright. And in future, I mean, currently I am working on to this MCP server playlist, right? Where I am posting multiple videos that how you can automate how you can do the automation using MCP servers, right? I mean, mostly we have used the Playwright MCP server, whereby just giving the prompt, you should be able to kind of write the script, or you should be able to perform the automation, right? So we have one playlist which is already ready, which is related to the Playwright, right? And on top of that, we have this Playwright MCP server, which you should be aware about. I mean, in the market, it is, I think it is not currently getting used much, but in future, this is the future is going to be related to the AI only. So you should be definitely aware about this MCP servers which we are using to perform the automation testing. I think I've used one video. I have created one video where I have explained that using the Playwright MCP server, how you can create the basic automation framework related to the Playwright, right? And apart from this, in future, I mean, I would be working onto the Cypress, onto the automation. You would be, I am going to work on much, right? You should be able to see many more videos related to the you can say AI, right? So that on that I would be working in future. Cypress, you may be able to see some videos. I have started creating the videos onto the Selenium, but I have paused in between, right? Because I think in future the future is going to be related to uh, the future is going to be more onto the Playwright or onto the Cypress as compared to the Selenium. So if you want to if you want me to create some videos related to the Selenium also, I can continue that thing. Okay, so we have one comment from Ivan. He's from Serbia, Europe. Okay, hello Ivan. So your videos are great. Thanks a lot. So thank you, Ivan, for this compliment, and I will continue to create such videos which will be helpful for you guys. Okay, I think we have I've taken most of the questions here. If you guys are having any other questions, so please let me know. I can take them. We have one more comment from SAK104. Keep up the fantastic work and help us grow. So thank you very much. Yeah, I will keep doing the same. And guys, please let me know, I mean, in future what you want to see, I mean, what kind of topic you want to see. I have noted some of your requests. I'm having those comments, so I will definitely try to create videos on the same. Okay, we have got one more question. It is from Jaya Ram. So I often get asked in interviews how CI/CD is integrated into your Playwright automation. Could you please suggest how to explain this effectively? Okay, so for the CI/CD, Jaya, I have already created some of the videos, right? That how you can integrate your Playwright automation framework for the continuous integration, right? So there are multiple tools which you can use for the CI/CD, right? For the continuous integration, either you can use Jenkins or Azure DevOps, GitHub Actions, and for all of them, I have created. For most of them, I have created the videos, right? For all these three. Apart from that, there are other tools also, Circle CI. So you can use those tools also, but mostly, I mean, I have used the Jenkins as well as the Azure DevOps pipeline. So these two I have used, and there you can explain that. I mean, on to the technical terms, I have already explained you into the video, right? How you need to do this, right? How you need to put your code onto the repository, and then how you need to configure it either onto the Jenkins or onto the Azure DevOps. Okay, and once you do this configuration, so I'm considering that you have watched those videos. So once you do those configurations, so after that you can explain, right, that we are using this particular tool. It may be Azure DevOps or Jenkins, and there after doing the configuration, it depends, right, how you want to use your continuous integration, right? One thing would be that, as I told you, right, if developer or any one of member from your team is pushing any code onto the repository, in that case you can configure your pipeline like this, that in that case, if there is any change onto the code, you should be able to execute the automation script, and if that change from the developer is breaking something, you should be able to detect it, right, through the automation. So and one more way where you can use these Jenkins or Azure DevOps is for the daily automation regression, right, where you would be executing your tests onto the daily basis. Usually this regression happens during the night time, so whenever you are joining back into the morning, so you should be able to see the report where you would be able to find if some tests are getting failed. You will be analyzing your report, right? It can be any report, right, which you have configured it. You can use the logs, or you can use the HTML report which is getting generating, and then you can analyze those tests and can check, right, if it is something which is run error, or you are able to find something which is not working, right? If there is any break which is happening, some page is not appearing, so such kind of scenarios you would be able to catch, and then you can kind of report those issues there. Okay, we have one more. So Jaya, I think I have answered your question. If still you have any doubts, so you can ping your comment there onto any of the video. I should be able to clear your doubts. Okay, we have one question from Vikrant. Okay, it is just a comment from the Vikrant that thanks a lot for your content. I wish your channel reach infinity. Yeah, thank you, Vikrant. I'm also from Pune. Can we have a meetup in Pune? So Vikrant, I mean, currently I have not start. I mean, I'm not doing any one-to-one session, or I have not met anyone. But yeah, we can definitely think about it, and we can plan such things. And uh, I think Vikrant has gifted 200 rupees as a super thank. So thank you, Vikrant. Okay, let me check if there are any other comments which I have left. And one thing I wanted to discuss previously, I mean, I have got so many questions related to the framework where they wanted the video more onto the JavaScript, right? Playwright with JavaScript. Although I have mainly focused onto the TypeScript, but because if you will see, if you will start learning the JavaScript, you will find it is very similar to the TypeScript, right? Apart from the some statements or some code, right? Let's say one difference I told you, right? In the TypeScript we use the import, but into the JavaScript we use the require statement. Apart from that, in the TypeScript we provide the type for the specific variable that it is going to be which type of variable, right? But into the JavaScript we do not usually do that. So usually I prefer to use the TypeScript, but onto the JavaScript previously I have thought of creating one playlist related to the JavaScript and the TypeScript mainly, so that before starting the Playwright, if you have anything that if you are very new and you are not aware about the coding itself, so you should be at least get the basic of the JavaScript and TypeScript. So about that I will definitely think, and I will create a difference video that what are all the difference which can be there into the JavaScript and TypeScript, and when we are using the Playwright with JavaScript and TypeScript. So yeah, that I will definitely think about. Okay, we have got one more question, which is from Jaya Ram. Okay, so between Jenkins using webhooks and GitHub Actions YAML, which would you recommend for integrating CI/CD with Playwright projects? So see, Jaya, when we are using GitHub Actions, so in the GitHub Actions I find options very limited. But into the if you will use the Jenkins or the Azure DevOps, you will be having multiple options, right, for the pipeline creation, for the CI/CD integration. So I will definitely suggest you to use either the Jenkins or this Azure DevOps as compared to the GitHub Actions. But it depends, right? If in your project, if you are already using GitHub Actions, so you'll have to use that only, right? If the developers are using GitHub Actions, so in that case, or if it is already configured, so in that case you can go with the GitHub Actions. But if it is very new and you are trying to create something new for your project, so I will definitely suggest you to go with the Jenkins or the Azure DevOps. But you can confirm it in your project that is it possible to get that particular infrastructure or not, right? Because when you would be using Azure DevOps or the Jenkins, so you should have the setup. You can discuss it with the DevOps team that where you would be executing your tests, right? You would not be executing your tests directly onto the cloud. You would be having some machines or VMs or Docker setup into your team where you would be executing your tests, right? So that things you can confirm, and you can let me know if you have any questions related to that. Okay, I will take next question. It is from Vikrant. So I have 150 test cases which when I run simultaneously, then 3-4 test cases fail, but when I run those failed tests individually, then they pass. Why so? So see, usually there can be different reasons that your tests can fail. Right, one reason can be that there can be run error, right, while executing your application itself may be slow. So when we are executing the tests into the bulk and the application is slow, your tests will get failed, right? And apart from that, as I told, right, while execution you have got some error into the application, right, and because of that it is getting failed. And if you will re-execute such tests, so it will get passed. So one thing I will suggest every time there that you should include retries, right, either 1 or 2 retries into your framework. That you can simply do with the config file, right, where you can mention that for the CI/CD you want to for the CI/CD, or if you are doing the execution onto the local, you want to do retry 1 or 2 times. I usually keep it 2 times. Okay, and so whenever your tests would be getting failed, so automatically it will get executed 1 time, or after first retry also, if it is getting failed, it will get executed 2nd time. And even though it is getting failed into the second, so you will have to analyze, right, there can be something wrong with your application, right, where it is not getting loaded properly, or there is a genuine bug which can be there into the application. But as you told that after rerun your tests are getting passed, so I would suggest, right, include the retry there. Try to increase the timeout, the global timeout, right, which you can increase. It is dynamic, right? So let's say if you increase the timeout from 30 seconds to 40 seconds for your tests, so in that case you should be able to see the past tests there, and it is dynamic, so it will not affect much, right? But do not increase to 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? You can increase it to 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and can try, right? So you have got my point, right? Try to include the retry, try to increase the timeout, and you should be able to see, and then analyze. If still it is getting failed, then you can let me know into the comments, right? We can do something about that. Yeah. Okay, we have one more question from Evan. Okay, so is it good practice to use Playwright and run Jenkins on AWS to show recruiters that we have and some knowledge into the cloud computing field? Okay, so Ivan, I mean, it is. I mean, you can use that, right? You can configure your Jenkins to execute your tests, right, anywhere. And I mean, if you just want to show it into the interview, so that is sufficient, right? You can tell them that you have used this particular process to execute your automation tests. And see, it depends, right? In your, if you are giving the interview at a place where they are using this setup Jenkins on AWS, right? So it would be definitely added advantage for you. But if they are not using the AWS itself, or the interviewer itself is not aware about this particular process, so it would be just the add-on for you. But yeah, if you get such interviews where they are using this particular process, so definitely that would be the added advantage for you, that you know these things and they are using the same thing, so it would be good match, right? And if you are able to answer, definitely, right? Sevan, I hope it answered your question. But if you have any technical question related to it, just drop your comment there. I should be able to, I mean, help you there. Mainly, I mean, currently I am using Cypress, as I told. So I am using Cypress, where we are executing our tests with the help of Docker container, right? Okay, so guys, if you are having any other question, I think I have taken all the questions which you have asked. So if you are still having any questions, so please let me know. We can wait for some more time. Otherwise, we can kind of close this particular live session. And I will, in future also, I will try to create such session. I will try to create it more interactive. I mean, I was planning to create some session where we can have quiz related to the Playwright, right, or related to the JavaScript, TypeScript. So I will definitely think about that. If you want such session, please let me know into the chat, so I can prepare for such live sessions. I was planning to have live sessions usually during the weekend only, because during weekdays, right, we all are having our office work. So that's why, I mean, I choose the weekend for the live session. Okay, so I think we are not having any more questions. So I think we can end this particular live session. If you are still having any questions after this live session, so you can just send your comment, and I should be able to pick that particular questions. And guys, one more thing I would like to tell, right? Previously also, that I have created the framework, right, related to the Playwright, and that particular repository is private. Okay, so whenever you are and for that I have created one Google form. So whenever you are filling that particular form, so just let me know into the YouTube comment section, right, so that I am aware that you have submitted the form, and I should be able to give the access of the Git repository related to the Playwright framework then and there only, right? Because I usually do not get notification for that particular form fill, and usually I do not check mail much frequently, but when I am checking the YouTube comments on to the daily basis, and that would be more quicker way to get the access for you guys. We have one more questions. We have one more question. I will take that quickly. So this question is from Bharat. So can we expect a video on the list of real-time scenarios questions for the interviews? Yes, Bharat, we can definitely have one video related to that. I will definitely think about it. I will note this particular question, and I will try to create one video for the same. So when you are saying the scenarios questions for the interview, so you are referring the Playwright, right? Or you are talking about the complete automation thing, right? For the different tools also. Just please let me know into the comment, and I should be able to pick your question, and I can definitely create one video related to the same. Okay, so guys, let's close this particular session. Uh, I think we have okay from the Bharat. We have got that answer that he's talking about the Playwright. So Bharat, as I told, I will definitely try to create one question related to it, and you should be able to see the video for the same. And guys, thank you very much for your time. And this was my first live session. So thank you for the warm response for your questions. And definitely in future, if you want to get such live session, please let me know into the comments, and I will try to create. I will try to create more live sessions, right, for you guys. It can be related to the automation testing or for the specific tool also. If you want to have one session, please let me know. In future, as I told, I will be planning some live session where we can have a quiz, live quiz, right, where you can answer the questions which will help you for the interview also. So about that, I will definitely think about it. Yeah. And thank you very much. Bye.